We need to hit record on all of them and then just hit go live on.
Hey kids, this is Pulse Ray Vision coming to you live from Quattro Cinco Studios. Again, in my mom's basement. I made it home. We got my little astronaut buddy here. Don's got his little astronaut teddy there. What's up? These will actually tell us the future if we listen to our ear really close. So as the title says, nothing is happening, everything is happening. Like right now, it feels like nothing's happening. It feels like we're dead, we're down, we're all waiting for news, we're all waiting for this or that. Dude, in dark matter, shit's going down. It's going as good as it could. Like you look at people are looking at the chart and they're like, oh, it's all down to $20, and it's like, yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if we went down to 10 on the next giveaway because it's the biggest giveaway that we've given away.
Yeah, right.
So like January 10th is, I think, going to be the all-time low since the beginning, since the start.
Yeah.
Since the launch.
That's my guess.
At $1, and that's the chance for as many people, especially because remember, this is the only journey that the airdroppers can dump their lottery winnings.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to buy or mint to get into the next lottery. And I think that by the first and second journey, most of the airdrop people are going to have sold or mint, or they don't know that they have it and they may not find it for a while. So I think we're going to get through all of the sell pressure from the airdroppers in the first two journeys.
Dude, I just got some good news. Sorry. I just got word from the Dune guy that I've been waiting for, the actual architect of that.
No, really?
Yeah.
What's he saying?
He just said, "How many charts you thinking?" That's a yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is literally the original guy that built that one, which is the best one on their site.
Dang.
So anyway, sorry. I just saw that. It was 46 minutes ago that was.
Yeah. No, you guys in the chat, tell us what charts you want to see on Dune when it comes to AG Project. I got a few just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Like obviously you want a chart that kind of predicts the treasury growth and payout.
Yeah.
You want a chart that predicts the lottery growth and
payout. It shows biggest fuel cell holders, biggest dark holders, biggest fuel cell holders, and their minting patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Evil address, what evil address is winning.
Yeah, and a collective, a nice collective leaderboard. Like we have the leaderboard on ours, but it shows partials and like just something.
This will be the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yep. Well, I'll schedule a meeting with him.
Yeah. Retro.
And he followed me.
Says, howdy, journeyers. Howdy, Retro Static.
What's up, Retro Static? I like that image.
Yeah. And then Cape Fear, my phone battery has sell by data, Max, pun intended.
Cape, what's happening?
Lottery has sell by data.
Has a cell by data. My phone battery has a cell.
Like a fuel cell? You're gonna have to make that joke more understandable because
it's barely noon here. We're still waking up.
Yeah. The Red Squirrel's saying hi.
Red Squirrel, very smart man over there. All you guys are smart people.
Hex Glenn, TikTok,
baby.
Oi pops. Hey, bullish on ulti, laughy face.
Oh, tell me about that. What am I missing?
Let's talk about ulti for a second. Let's see what we can say safely without pissing everyone off. And just like, I don't know. When I saw the people pumping ulti, I honestly lost respect for a lot of OG hexagons. Because I was like, first of all, it's not on base, it's not on pulse. So like that makes it hard to swallow. And then Steph is as far as I know, he's a great guy, he's a smart guy. But
Steph, that's right.
I haven't seen OX Steph build a community. Even around Staker, he didn't really build a community around Staker. And then he hired a certain hexagon, and that certain hexagon was supposed to build a community, and that certain hexagon just didn't end up building anything.
Yep.
And so it's and let me talk a little shit about Titan X just to piss more people off.
Ooh, snap.
Titan X has Jake Sharp took the idea of Zen and he just added massive buy burning to Zen because Zen's inflation's out of control, right? It's down forever. And so he's like, well, if you burn it, it'll pull it back up. Maybe it will. Again, Jake has built a community of his own outside of the Hexicans, but almost everyone that jumped into Titan X was a Hexican because we were the only ones with any money at the bottom of the bear.
Yes.
So it is mostly Hexicans. And then they put like 48 projects built on top of it, all increasing the buy and burn and multiplying the effects. But the problem was they didn't put 48 communities together. They just wrote 48 different smart contracts and code and dropped them all on top of each other. Right. The one person that I think brought the most community to Titan X and with one of the layers is Rags to Riches.
Right.
Rags to Riches is a professional, he's a really, really good community builder.
Oh gosh, as good as they get.
And he built up Titan X. He was like a big part of what started Titan X. And then I think he brought a legitimate community over with Morpheus as one of those layers in that cake. So you can do whatever. You can have the coolest shit on the planet. If you don't have people that show up with money to put into it, it doesn't matter. It's just noise on the blockchain. It's just one of the trillion tokens that we're going to end up having that kind of, maybe it's unique, maybe it's not. And that's why we put community first. That's why we have the best tiny community in the whole ecosystem.
Agreed.
I'll put the collective up against any community any day.
Oh yeah. And dude, one of the things that Sami had said recently, which is so true. I mean, we've heard it before, but is that the bull market will end when we run out of new buyers, And one of the things you have to look at is it's all about community, especially with these meme cults and everything. Like it's all about what still has reason for people to buy into it. And the cool thing about Dark is it's got baked in. I mean, first of all, there's so much nuance to it. You learn so many different facets. You learn so much about the project as it goes on. However, there's roughly 4 years of mini cycles within the project, which is way different than a token that's just inflating and that inflation just getting distributed. It's not that way at all. Like people can enter, and there's reasons to enter for a solid 4 years, And so that says a lot, because if you judge the metric about it running out of buyers, and there's reasons for there to be continuing buyers, and not just off speculation, but actual game mechanics that you can utilize, it's very bullish, very, very bullish.
Yeah, because I mean, most people are trading the 4-year cycle,
right?
Try to get in right before the bull, and they try to get out during the bull and take their profits, and then wait for the next 4 years. And we're just too impatient here.
Yeah.
1,400, 1,600 days. And at first it was like 105 days we had it planned. And I was like, that's just too long. Like people aren't going to tune in once a month to see if they won the lottery. They need it more often than that.
Mm-hmm.
Shorted it to 45 days. So people can trade a 45-day cycle on our chart.
Right.
And that's going to be a lot of fun to see that pattern that emerges every 45 days and how it rhymes and how it changes and how Black Swan Offense and the Richard Heart ecosystem, the Hart's Law affects it.
Yep.
Because I think it's going to be a very exaggerated version of Hart's Law of, Pulse, Inc., Solid Hex, all those ones.
Agreed.
So as soon as people start picking up on that crazy pattern and that crazy chart, then I think it's going to bring a lot more attention than what we've got right now.
I would agree with that. Now, speaking of Hart's Law, what do you think with all the stuff going on with Richard Hart, such as Interpol Red Notice, and which is so wild the way the Red Notice thing has been abused in the past? I was watching Hexo stream yesterday, and he was reading about how this dude, a professional soccer player, was on Interpol's Red Notice for vandalism, for literal graffiti.
Vandalism.
They put him on the Red Notice for that, because there's Interpol. You can be on Interpol, but the Red Notice is like a privilege that they've given essentially each body, which it's so non-transparent, to be able to push it up as Red Notice. And so it's like anyone that is given $5 that has access can literally just push it to red notice, and there's really not much you can do to prove who it was. But
that sounds so dangerous, and
it's so
like,
dangerous.
red notice, most wanted.
That's swatting. Well, that's one of the things that the dude had an issue with. Was it's like, dude, you're putting their life at risk. You know, like police forces from, because Interpol is basically like it's basically a collaboration between international police forces, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's I mean that just can be dangerous, you know. I mean, fortunately, that's why you don't want to really be on the run country to country when you're on Interpol's red notice. But if you're bulletproof and you're sitting chilling, then it's marketing at the end of the day. I mean, shit, CZ was arrested, you know. It's like Binance is doing well. I don't think you need to be too scared of it.
There's a couple of things about Richard that I think are different than CZ, and I'll get into that in 1 second. But I was going to say, when you get on people's radar, for instance, we're my buddy Casey was reading Roger Ver's book, Hacking Bitcoin, and basically it's this book that proves, you know, what they've done to destroy Bitcoin, what the governments and banks have been doing to destroy Bitcoin since it was, you know, invented. And 9 days after he published that book, that's when he got snatched, and when they came after him for taxes.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it really about taxes, or is it about, you know, exposing people?
Right.
And I think that Richard Hart crossed a line somewhere, probably by pissing off the SEC and making them look bad. Where that was like, okay, well, now he's on the list. Right. And you have other people like the Tate dudes and who else? Julian Assange. You have a whole list of people. Ross Ulbricht. You know, you do something that like knocks over their sandcastle, and they don't take that very well. No. They're not used to people stepping out of line and defying them.
No.
What I was going to say about Richard Hart, though, was that like CZ built a really great business and everything, so that when he was gone, it just kept running, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, Hex. Okay. So when Hex does obviously run by itself, immutable code, all that stuff, but the community still looks to him as a leader.
Yep.
So they're still afraid of him not leading the charge and showing the confidence and, you know, out there on the front line swinging the sword, so to speak. And he took about this whole year off, basically, where we haven't heard much from him until recently.
Right.
And we had some really cool people step up, like your friend Sami. We got Shill Gates. There's, you know, and Hexo really hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
He's still there. Maddie's still there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that stepped up and did really good things for the community, to where hopefully we'll kind of wean ourselves off of needing Richard's presence to feel good.
Right.
And feel confident. And just know that we can do this ourselves with the code and the community, because the community is what's done everything up to this point.
Exactly. The community.
And Richard Hart built that community, which is amazing.
It's incredible. Amazing.
So that's the only difference I see between him and like a CZ thing. Is that like, people want to feel warm and fuzzy about Richard's safety and Richard being there to lead the charge.
Yep. I would say there's no such thing as a Binance community. There are Binance users, but there's not a Binance community. Like if you called all the communities on BSC Binance community, it just you can't like, because none of them are cheering on Binance. You know what I mean? They're cheering on their token, which happens to be on Binance Smart Chain at the moment, but there's not a community. So it's like, what other community can you put up against Hexes and Pulse Chains?
None.
I don't think you can. There's some other growing communities like over on Sol and things like that, and some of the cults. And I've seen some of them be quite impressive with their resilience with delays and things like that. But still, it's like at best it's a 2-month-old version of Hex community. You know what I mean? Like in other communities that I've seen grow. And you know, the Pepe community's grown well. Like that's been a strong community, but there's been, you know, it's just a meme coin though, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, you really can't beat this community. You can't.
Yeah. And Hexicans are always one cycle ahead of everyone else.
Yep.
Last cycle, we were talking about cults and community and the power of community, and no one would listen.
That's what we were talking
negative. right?
That's what people made documentaries, and even the documentary maker ended up liking Hex a lot. And I'm not even talking the Heist of Stakes one. I'm talking about what is it? I think it was Colt was in the title of the movie, wasn't it? The British or the Australian dude.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to him. We're connected on X, but yeah, we were like shamed for being a cult last cycle.
Yeah.
And now it's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah. So
I just remember vividly, like a few years ago, like someone being like, "Yeah, but it's a cult," and it's like, yeah, it is.
And now next cycle, 2028-29, everyone's going to be talking about liquidity providing. Everyone's going to be talking about Hart's Law. Everyone's going to be talking about farms and all that stuff that we're into right now, all that deep stuff. They're going to be catching up next time and talking about that, and we'll be talking about the next thing.
Yep.
Because we're just light years ahead of everybody.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, it's indisputable.
But back to Ulti, like
tell me the story.
Anyone that loses money in that, and I'm happy for anyone that makes money in that.
So when was it launched? This was Steph. This is OX Steph, obviously, founder of Staker app.
Yeah,
here on the community for a couple of years, right? He basically did the community for a couple of years.
Here, Dex Rainer.
But I'm right about that part, right? Like he basically ghosted the community for a couple of years.
Oh, you mean Seth did?
Didn't he?
I think so. Maybe he was just, in the lab cooking.
Maybe he was just building. But I mean, I just know that he abandoned Staker.
Well, I kind of felt like he put Kareem
mm-hmm.
in the place as the spokesman and the leader, like the head of marketing and the head of community building.
Right.
And it didn't seem to stick.
Right.
Let's see. I'm going to present my screen here and freeze my little face. And here's Dex Screener. Here's Ulti. This will tell us when it launched. By the way, there's 2 more days left to get into the pre-sale of Signum. And if you guys don't know about Signum, here's Ulti and Weth with 64K market cap and 58K liquidity. So it's got a good ratio between liquidity and stuff, but it opened on the 29th of December.
Oh, geez, good entry if someone wants in. But I mean, zoom in on that. Is it right back to? Is it below SAC rates? It looks like it's below, or no? It's I mean, that's wicked, dude. What is going on with that?
Well, when it came down here, I posted a tweet saying it's literally giving you guys the middle finger.
You literally
look at it, it's literally flipping you off with this pattern.
So what was supposed to be the utility of that token?
I have no clue.
Let me see ulti.org. Let me just
ulti.org. Growth driven by
unfortunately OTV1 is a failed experiment. This is from the website. The tokenomics are critically flawed, likely causing the price to decline indefinitely. We strongly advise against depositing or buying Ulti any further. Sincere apologies. Wow, dude.
That's on the website?
Go to the website right now.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a failed experiment.
Imagine putting that on agproject.io.
Oh my gosh.
This is why you do multiple audits and why you test things immensely on testnet. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know the info. And shout out for all Steph's done for the community. There's nothing of what I've said is intended to be a dig against him. And he's calling it an experiment. I'm hoping that it was clearly labeled, or it was clearly expressed as such for those getting in. But man, that's quite a critical flaw.
Yeah. And honestly, crypto's hard. Coding hard. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow in crypto. We could have some crazy stuff with the government. We could have a problem with our blockchain. We could find, someone could find a bug, which, by the way, we got a bug bounty program going right now for anti-gravity.
Yep.
If you guys jump in that's in our Telegram. But crazy. Put it on log. All right, let's put it on log.
I put on log.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so Ulti, that's where it looks a little bit more like a middle finger.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's That's wild. Anyone in the chat able to say what? I mean, we can find out offline too. I'm just curious. Like something that just came out 4 days ago. Like how does it? Like how much planning was going into this? How much of a heads up did people have before going in? I mean, what I'd hate to see, and I'm not accusing Steph of this at all, but what I know this concerns, this makes people concerned about when reputable community members launch things like this is they start seeing them as disguised rug pulls. You know, like they're intentional accidents. I'm not
this isn't
here.
Yeah, this may not be intentional at all.
Say that again.
This may not be intentional at all.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm not, and that's why I want to make it clear that I'm not saying that. It just when we see things like this that 4 days are pulled, they raise 1,000 ETH or 1,000 pooled ETH, I guess I should say that, and then people. These are the type of things that concern people, and we've been, I mean, it's why this thing took almost a couple of years to come out. 3 years in 3 years in progress, but 2 years of actual coding, and then swapping to new devs, etc. With like the smallest skeleton of what they could use previously, basically a double rebuild, because we wanted to make sure everything worked flawlessly. Because when you have 15 smart contracts working in concert, you got to test this thing immensely.
Yeah, and I mean this right here rhymes with most of our ecosystem right here. You see like here's the interpol FUD and then bounce and drop. And if you look back at Hex over here, you got the drop and then this. Now this one's like isn't as low as this, but our wick didn't go as low as this either.
Right.
So we're kind of down here if you're looking at rhymes.
Right. And ours makes sense with people taking profit from the lotteries. I mean, that's great. People are being great community members by doing that.
But here's Pulse, same pattern.
Yeah.
They're all going to have the same pattern because the Hart's law, and it's going to be similar to what we see right here. If I zoom in, boom.
Yep.
The difference is that we paid out $200,000 a couple days ago.
Yep.
So there's a slight difference between our chart and the others.
Yeah. One would expect
people taking those profits, man.
Yeah, one would expect it when 200 grand's paid out.
And then we have January 10th is the big daddy right here.
The biggest lottery yet. We just paid the biggest lottery yet, and then the biggest lottery, even double the last lottery in terms of coin count. But depending on what price is, it could be different than that. But that'll be the biggest one coming out on January 10th, January 11th ish. Yeah,
and then we jump right into the next journey, which again, 116,000 were minted here. With this mint window was bigger than the others. It was like 19 days.
Yeah,
these will be 11 days, and right here, I think a lot of people that didn't quite understand the minting process or what you got for minting are going to know now by this time. And I think we're going to get more than 116,000 here. I'm guessing 120, 130K is just a guess of how many of those tokens are going to be taken off the market and pumped into the treasury and pumped into the lottery.
Yep.
So what that does to the price, no one knows. I mean, it could just be people that already hold it. So the price may not even go up. This may not be a bull run or mini bull run. It may or may not. But I honestly believe that somewhere around here is where we could get the Richard Heart information, and all of Pulse will do a fake spike. So I think I'm expecting a fake spike sometime in January, February.
Yep.
With the Richard Heart news, and I think people are going to sell the news. Buy the rumor, sell the news, and then I think we're going to get another pullback on Hex, and then I think we might rip either during this March, mint, or during the May mint.
Yeah,
because there's going to be another mint in like May over here. So, but I really think that a lot of the airdroppers are going to be shaken out here. The guys that got the free coins and the free fuel cells, because they can't play these lotteries unless they mint.
Correct.
So it's going to be a really interesting lottery system here, but they'll still have tokens that they can dump. And I think that people that are going to dump dark tokens and take profit are going to do so in the first two journeys.
I would think so too.
Anyone else is either going to sit on it long term or forgot they had it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, interesting. This is the best TA you'll ever see in your life.
Dude, it is. It really is. I mean, the thing is, if people know the way the system works, then it really is genius the way it's drawn out. And look at it. It's going right to plan.
And we are working on some explainer videos for you guys.
Yes.
So
we got some other ideas as well.
Yeah. There's no one else here in the green room. He says a reporter, Tetra Oracle thing. Oh yeah. Oh, so sorry. I dropped that news about Signum, and Signum is the going to be the Oracle that they're working on with Tetra. So Fetch didn't come to fruition yet. I think they're still working on it.
Yep.
So we were hoping that Fetch would be our Oracle on Pulse Chain, and it hasn't shown up. So now they're working on Signum, which may be a good Oracle on Pulse Chain. And I don't know if we have the Chainlink hard coded for our lottery, or if we could switch later. But
I don't think
either way,
but we'll check. But I don't think we can.
Either way, I think that's an Oracle that actually works on Pulse Chain is going to, whoever pulls it off first is going to do really well, I believe. Yeah. And I have an interview with Stu and a referral link if you guys want to get a little bit extra referral, but there's 2 more days left on that one. Hello, my Dark DGen family. Hey, what's up, Moon Mutt?
What's up, Moon Mutt?
I thought Staker was an experiment.
Is Staker an experiment?
I thought the Staker was a company and an app.
That's what I believed.
We'll need a syndicate pool for dark. Lottery tickets might get expensive in the future. Oh, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
Someone's been tapping into our meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, if dark someday for some reason gets to the point where it's it's not affordable for the average person, then they're not going to be able to enter the lottery and lock in their treasury yield. And so something like a Maximus DAO contract would be helpful in the future, depending on the price of dark. Mm-hmm. It's like if you can only afford 1/10 of a dark, but you want to go in and lock that and get a 1/10 of a fuel cell, we're hoping to be able to offer that in the future. But I think we're looking at maybe 2-3 years down the road on that one. We have a couple of surprises that we're hoping to get to you by Journey 2 and Journey 3, and those ones are ahead of that. But I like the way you're thinking, Retrostatic. I like the long-term thinking you got. So
moving, smart minds.
Oh, I was going to show you guys. This right here. Freeze my little face again. Oh, that's not a good face. Freeze. Cancel that. Let me unfreeze that face. That looks a little too weird.
Dude, I got testosterone face right now. It's all fucking fat. It is, dude. Watch. It looks different than just 2 days ago. It'll go down in a couple of days.
Well, and that's the thing. If I can just be a little vulnerable, honest for a second, I'm in recovery. A couple of years in recovery.
Like
and
what?
They tell you when you go to treatment and stuff, they're like, you're going to get fat. And you're like, no, I'm not. And they're like, listen, you're replacing a lot of stuff that you're using to get your needs met and to self-medicate with other things, and food's going to come in and your weight's going to fluctuate. And I was like, yeah, it does. Depending on what you're doing, what your regimen is, what you're going through, what medicines you're on.
Yep.
I gained a pound a day for 1 month. Gained 40 pounds in a month on one medication. And I was like, yeah. Crazy. So for anyone who's in recovery, we feel that whole my body's going through changes thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try to freeze again without looking like a weirdo. There we go. That's decent. That's a decent one. I'll take that one. So if we go here to the pull the comments back out. If we go to the holders of dark, this is getting really interesting over here. The top few haven't changed at all.
The
There's
bleed is stopped. It
still
seems
1,700
consolidation.
holders, and almost all of those are airdrop recipients. Almost all of them. Like the people that put money into this and like got into the I don't know if you want to call it a pre-sale, but the Wishwell and the mining, they're like 105 people.
Yeah.
That like are skin in the game AG OGs.
Yeah.
And if you go down, you got the
Email
address, and this is going to be emptied basically, except for one token over the next 4 years. This is all going into the treasury and lottery.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the mystery box, which has been providing a bunch of liquidity, and it looks like it's given maybe some giveaways and stuff. And then you got the treasury, which is at 89,000, which we'll probably see another 80 or 90 or 100,000 put in it in the next mint. Right. And then you got this big guy right here. I'm pretty sure I know who this is right here. That's got 3%, almost 4% of it, and he's a ride or die, right there. And then you got the lottery, which is just a smart contract. But then we drop down to this guy right here. We've been talking about this guy, 8090. 8090 put money in the Wishwell before we told anyone about it. Yep. 8090 was interacting with smart contracts that were only visible on the blockchain.
Yeah, you had to be a blockchain geek to find them.
They're literally the first person in line.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got, I think, at least 1,000 fuel cells, but they're sitting at 1.87%, which may not sound like a lot to you guys, but they're number 6 out of like 4 smart contracts.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out who this was. I mean, obviously, this whale can do a lot of damage. Like this whale, wants to exit the project. We'll have blood on the chart that day, like just crazy blood. And I kept trying to figure out and do detective work, and I narrowed it down to just like a handful of hexagons. And this weekend when I was in San Diego, I got a text from this person telling me, yeah, I'm 8090. And I can't describe what a cool dude this is. Like I can't describe like what a ride or die hexagon this guy is, and how deep he understands game theory and how supportive he is of the project and the community. He is solid. Like he's a badass. As soon as I found out that this was him, this whale, I was like, I wanted to cry. I was so happy. I wanted to cry. And I knew that all these whales, including, this whale's been split up into 10 to 5 dolphins right here. So they're obviously making some plays, probably to go into minting and something else, I'm guessing, right here. And then, of course, we have the Firewell. Yeah. And of course, we have Randy Hilarski right here. Yeah. So, like, these guys right here, like, Firewell seems like a really nice guy. I can't wait to meet him in Panama. But, like, Randy Hilarski, Firewell, this dude, the 16 CD dude, and the dude I just found out about are 4 of the most stable legs you could ever have under a table.
Absolutely.
Ever. Everyone talks about fair launch. Everyone talks about stealth launch. Dude, this was the most unfair launch I've ever seen in my life. It was so unfair. And it wasn't unfair because we were trying to screw people over or whatever. It was unfair because no one knew about it. Mm-hmm. Like stealth launch, we had like 30 people in the Wishwell. And they got such an outsized return because they were early believers and they're OGs, Early people and early supporters, they always get the best deal. Yep. The first round of investors in any company, what do they get?
Best deal.
best deal. That's it. You're just going to have the best deal, especially if you believe in something and you're on the team, like emotionally. If you're part of the space cult, part of our family.
Right.
So that being said, I have an extreme faith and belief in this project. Extreme faith and belief. But after seeing that fourth leg of the table, I lost my mind a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, I don't blame you, dude.
I called up Don, and Don's like, what the hell's going on? Like, he could tell just by my voice. He was like, oh my God, something crazy just happened.
Oh yeah, dude, couldn't be better news. I mean, that's a substantial whale, and knowing who it is, oh boy.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for a better one.
Yeah. And whales are going to take profit. Like, that's the whole point of being a whale. We're here for the money, we're here for the community, but if you're a whale and you're in here, these people understand liquidity providing, and they understand V3 profit taking. So where they know how they can like get some milk from the cow without killing the cow. All of them. In fact, I go to these guys and I ask them, like, okay, like when I'm doing this liquidity providing or I'm doing this farming, what do I do? And they're like, they walk me through it. That's how good they understand this stuff. So that being said, with that chart and our biggest possible dump being around the 10th and then right before the next mint, I would say that I believe that's going to be our lowest all-time low other than the $1 start.
Yep.
And heck, it might hit a buck. I don't know. Like I said, this is crypto. Crazy stuff happens. However, the mechanics we built into this and the pressure we built into this, it's either gonna like take off like a rocket or just blow up on the launch pad.
Yeah.
There's not a middle ground between what we're talking about here. And as I mentioned before, it's a weird analogy, and we probably need to get this into an animation, but it's like trying to hold all the air in a balloon.
Right.
But then not just holding the air in the balloon, but putting pressure on it. So much pressure that it becomes liquid oxygen and liquid nitrogen inside that balloon.
Right.
And the way you do that is you wrap the balloon with a boa constrictor. So you got a boa constrictor around a balloon, and every 45 days, that sucker squeezes. And then it relaxes, and everyone says, oh, the price is down, dump. And that's when it relaxes, squeeze.
Yeah.
Squeeze. It's a boa constrictor wrapped around a balloon, man. Like, if you think about it,
it's the best analogy.
That's the pressure and that we're putting on the scarcity of the token.
Uh-huh.
Again, we start with 1 million. Like, I don't know hardly any projects with 1 million tokens. I think Axis Alive has 1 million tokens in one of his. His is up like in the 30,000s, but he only put like 3 tokens on the market ever.
Right.
Like he's floating some scarce supply out there. But I've never seen everyone else is like buy and burns or this and that and claim scarcity. Supply. Like after a year, they're bragging about 8 to 10% being burned or locked up or gone.
Yeah.
They're bragging about 8 to 10%. We have 9% in the first 30. Well, in the first 19 days, we had 9% locked up off the market. Yeah. And then in the next, around January 11th, when you guys can mint again, we're probably going to get another 9-10% locked off.
At least.
So you can see how quickly the game of chicken starts to show up, where it's like, who's going to break first?
Right.
Who's going to sell first? Who's going to break first? Who's going to dump their lottery winnings, and who's going to hang on to them for the next round?
Right.
Minting.
Right.
And so, yeah, we're either going to Saturday or we're blowing up on the launch pad.
There's a lot of people interested in it not blowing up on the launch pad. So,
yeah, there's a lot of really smart, cool people in the community working on ground control, working in the shuttle to get it ready to take off to Saturn, which, he says that, Ulti was a failed experiment. In some ways, this is an experiment. I think it's a community first, and then it's an experiment second. But the experiment is, can we break crypto?
Right.
Can we break people's beliefs about market cap, liquidity, how high and scarce a token can be? Because there's always something that gives. There's always someone that cashes out. There's always a rug, you know what I mean? Or there's always another shiny object that people ditch the project to run to.
Exactly.
And in this one, you can do that, but the cost is so high to vaporize your fuel cells in the beginning that it kind of saves yourself like the hex stakes.
Right. Yeah, but if you stake hex for a couple of years versus if you mint a fuel cell, just yield alone, I think dark is better on just yield, and that's not even counting lottery winnings.
Yeah, because I think hex is like 38% a year, or maybe a little bit lower now, but it was 38% a year for a long time.
Right. So do that for 2 years. You're still not where.
And I think we were looking at 280% in like 2 years.
Yeah. And that's yield. That's just
yield on
the inside of the big banks.
Yeah, that's not dollar amount. That's just dark. That's just dark that you're accumulating. So as dark gets sucked off the circulating supply off the market, it's being funneled into the treasury, and then it's dripping into the fuel cells over time. And so as it's harder to get a hold of, you're getting more and more in storage in your fuel cell.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting dynamic. I'm trying not to say how much stuff I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. Good. But I did want to tell you guys, I do know who that other whale is. He is a badass, and Randy Hilarski's a badass, and Firewell's been nothing but a badass to this community. So it's like it's very rare for a community or for a group of whales to have a goal and a vision so locked together, so in common.
Yeah, I would agree.
So that gives me more confidence going forward that we can not only just grow this community, but we can sustain this community.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Yep.
Yeah. Hex Monkey says it's true. When I quit booze so many years ago, I immediately gained 20 pounds. Eventually lost it, but it was wild.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah. They split T shares into B shares. So you should be able to do the same with dark and NFTs. I don't see why, but I'm glad I don't have to sort it out. No, it is the T share. A T share is still a T share. Whether you split it into B shares or M shares, a T share is still a T share. We just don't have M shares and B shares here. We have fuel cells, one fuel cell, one dark matter. And over time, it'll be interesting to see what it costs to get a dark in the future.
Yeah.
I gained 40 pounds during rehab, and then lost 40 pounds in 3 months with workouts. Good job, Passion.
That's the same amount I gained, bro. Was more than 40, but 40 went 40 over what I'm supposed to be. It took me some gaining to get to where I should be first.
Hex Monkey says diamond handed whales are important for a project. It appears we've got that here. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's the other thing. Everyone's talking about decentralization. Oh, this guy has too much. This guy has too much. Jeff Bezos has a shit ton of Amazon.
So does Elon with Tesla.
Elon has a shit ton of Tesla. Do you think they're going to just go dump and shoot their baby in the head? They're not going to throw it. They're not going to shoot themselves in the foot and crash their own price.
Right.
It doesn't make any same thing with Richard Hart and or whoever owns the OA address. Why would they destroy their own, what they hold the most value in? It just doesn't make sense. Nope. I mean, sometimes people do it, don't get me wrong. Or obviously people get hacked. People get hacked, people get cancer, people get divorced. That stuff we can't control, and those are the black swans that just come. But apart from that, it's pretty nice to have people that share the same vision, are headed in the same direction, have the same goals. And our goal is to break crypto, build the best community ever, and break crypto. Just break people's brains. And if we're really, really lucky, I'd love to break the 4-year cycle. I'd love to have any asset decorrelate from Big Daddy Bitcoin, especially after peeping that book from Roger Ver.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bitcoin is not good, dude.
No.
I'm so glad that it exists and that it brought money in and credibility to crypto by surviving. But at the end of the day, nobody that is no decent people own Bitcoin. The people that own the big chunks of Bitcoin are psychopaths.
They're big institutions, man.
Yeah, they don't have feelings. They don't have they're not a community. They're not community members.
No.
They're just like psychopathic overlords.
Facts.
And that could very well shock and break. And that's another black swan, right? That could hit is like if BlackRock just tries to like cash out,
put it out of all of crypto
and sink it. Because if you think that BlackRock needs that money,
no, they don't. But what I don't think they want to do is I don't think they want to crash the price and just let other people scoop it up cheaper than they were able to get it. Of course, they have so many mechanisms to make sure they're the ones that get it cheaper. But it's a risk. Like there's enough competition, But it's when people learn more and more about crypto, they learn a lot more about what are safe, what's decentralized,
think about what would happen to the price of Bitcoin if the big players locked them in smart contracts.
Oh, dude,
I took all my Bitcoin. I'm BlackRock. I take all my Bitcoin. I'm Michael Saylor. I take all my Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I lock it. Even a time lock. No, nothing even special. Just a time lock, or something that said, or just pure liquidity. You name it. If they did something, the price of Bitcoin would explode because people are like, oh, we don't have to work. That's not a risk anymore.
Right.
So that's
kind of unreal. I mean, imagine if we just saw that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I'm just saying. Like, we have the smart contract of the evil address. We know what it's going to do. We got the smart contract of the treasury. We know what it's going to do. We got the smart contract of the lottery. We know what it's going to do. And that's where, I mean, between those three, the mystery box is still a mystery, so I'm not going to count that. But like 58, 62, 64% of our stuff is locked in smart contracts right now.
That's crazy.
64 supply out of 1 million, and 1 million is 21 times better than Bitcoin.
Exactly.
We're already 21 times more scarce than Bitcoin, and you don't have to wait till 2140 to find out.
Right.
It's done. So just
no inflation
alone, like just think that's the other thing that people have been causing a lot of drama about lately is liquidity. They're like, you need your liquidity to be this ratio of the market cap.
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
I understand, like, you want to know you can take your profits when you want to. I get that. But at the same time, anyone can provide liquidity.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can burn liquidity.
Yep.
If you're telling someone this project needs it, you can provide it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We had that one whale that was the first person to step up and provide like 10K liquidity right off the bat with Pulse. Yep. Amazing. Like, wow, that was cool. That wasn't even us.
Right.
That was that whale. And then we had some other people step in and start putting money into the pools, and other project founders reached out to me and we did some pairs.
Yep.
And so it's growing organically. And I don't know anyone who owns enough dark to need to cash out at all.
Agreed.
Like, not that we have like, and obviously the liquidity went down by like 4 times.
Right.
With this Black Swan event, because you know, just like when you pump 10K into liquidity, it 4X's it. If you take 10K out, it reduces it by.
Yeah.
So that'll be really interesting. A shout out to obviously Firewell for the Solid X pairing. That was really cool. And that's really where our biggest one is. If I want to know what the price of dark is, I look at that one because it's got the most straight liquidity. But if I want to know the history of it, I go to the Rat Pulse because that was showing up on day one.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know anyone who needs to cash out 200 grand in dark yet.
Exactly.
Not at $20.
Not at $20. Not at all. When this ecosystem hasn't even done anything yet, we paid out 2 lotteries out of 99. You know what I mean? Like, and there's so many slick, special things that might be happening that are so bullish for the lotteries, dude. So bullish. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
So bullish.
Well, once we get this first journey into under our belt, it's time to go into straight community building marketing mode.
Yep, 100%.
It's just once we know that we've proven this out that it works, we just have to show it to people and share it with people. Yep. We just got to spread the good news of dark.
Exactly.
And once that light bulb hits, like, you know, we all had our light bulb moment with Hex. We had our light bulb moment with WhatsApp.
Yep.
And once we had that light bulb moment, we're like, oh shoot. Mm-hmm. Oh, this has a real future.
Yep.
And that's where the community comes from, is people getting those light bulb moments.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of having some really cool charts on Dune is going to be really cool to share.
That'll be, I think, what steers what is the core focus of the stream. Like, we hit the price chart, but then we go right into Dune.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that'll be the best way to look at the project and dissect it. And the best thing is, and anyone has certain chart ideas for Dune, they can go in and build them themselves, or just let us know and we can get them built. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be so many different ways to look at this data. Like, there's so many different elements of how you can look at it, and that might yield certain indicators. You know, like certain indicator, people might be, oh, this is a damn good indicator that no one else is really looking at. And that's the beauty of doing and being able to look at the data in so many different ways. You can try to find the best edge, you know?
Yeah, and seeing things visually, really, that helps a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Or visual, or I'm a visual learner. Unless I see it on a chart, I'm like, or a graph, I'm like, I think it looks like this, but once I see it, I know. I'm like, okay, now my brain can wrap its head around that information.
Yep.
So that's really exciting too. I think we covered just about everything. I mean, we got them.
I think so too.
Let me share the screen and go to our favorite website of all time. There we go. We're going to go to agproject.io.
Yeah.
And
7 days, baby.
And this clock right here is counting down to the treasury payout.
Yep.
So in 7 days, 8 hours, 59 minutes, everyone's going to get a little sprinkle of dust, a little drip of dark into all those fuel cells.
Yep.
And they'll get one every 45 days in perpetuity, as long as Pulse Chain's alive.
So wait a minute, Max. Let me clarify this. So are you telling me that lottery tickets, aka fuel cells, that did not win and that might not win at all, you're telling me that those things still get paid out something?
Yeah, they get paid out from the treasury every 45 days. Well, forever. I mean, granted, at some point it might be dust. Right. Like, it starts as dust and then it grows to something significant, and then it goes down to dust just because of the way it bloats and pays out. But yeah, this thing is going to pay out. Like, so everyone that has one of those 116,000 day one fuel cells, they split 3% of the treasury every 45 days.
Yep.
And then
which is so wild. I mean, just seriously imagine it. Like, you bought a lottery ticket, it didn't hit, but you get to take it basically back to, or it just automatically has a cash value that grows with it every 45 days. That's nuts. Yeah, scratchers that didn't win, they're still making dough. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like a lottery ticket that if that turns into a savings bond.
Yeah, exactly. I like
I
that.
mean,
Exactly.
the analogy of the piggy bank is good because of the breaking and vaporizing of the fuel
Hmm.
cell. But yeah, just think about it as a lottery ticket and a savings bond.
Yeah.
It just grows in dark over time. Even if you don't win the lottery, if you win the lottery,
Yeah.
great. That's just extra money.
Yeah.
Then
Whether or
you
not
can
you hit
spend
it though
whatever you
doesn't
want.
change the payout.
Yeah, but to cash out the savings bond or to get the money out of the piggy bank, you got to smash it.
Hmm.
And then 12 hours after that, so and 7 days and 20 hours, the minting window reopens for Journey 2. And this is going to be a 22x in collective points that you can get for every fuel cell that you mint. Plus, you'll get your multiplier
Hmm.
as well. If you're an OG, then it'll recognize you as an OG. And again, it's not a fair launch. Like, this isn't a fair system. This is a meritocracy. This
Well,
is
it's fair launch in
put
the
your money
sense
where
that
your mouth is.
if you knew about it, like it wasn't kept secret, and if you knew about
No,
it, you could have participated equally to anyone else. So it's fair in that sense. Like just
it
to be
is fair in
clear,
that sense.
that
Yes.
those that knew had an unfair advantage over those that didn't know, because obviously they couldn't participate.
Right, right, right. Just like people that knew about the adoption amplifier
Mm-hmm.
versus people that
Had an
didn't.
unfair advantage, yeah.
Yeah. And then we go to lottery right here. Let me refresh this bad boy. The lottery is going to be coming out in 7 days, 8. Wait, is this the same?
Yeah.
This is the same clock as the
Yep.
homepage.
You
So
guys added.
the second that this lottery pays out, 13,989 right here, 13,989 dark fuels, dark matters tokens are going to get paid out at the same time. The treasury is going to be paying out 3% right here to these guys, to the 116,000.
Yep.
And then 12 hours after that, boom, we're in another journey. It's Journey 2.
Yep.
Can you clarify when we mint Journey 2 fuel cells yet?
Great question.
Or is that what the 7-day countdown is? I should know this, but sometimes I get confused, LOL. No, you're good. You're good. Like I said, this countdown, if you want to know the countdown for the minting, the best place to go is the minting page. So this clock on the minting page is a countdown to mint the Journey 2. So
Yep.
we're on Journey 1 right now. This will switch to Journey 2. It'll show you how much dark you have in your wallet if you connect your wallet. And then this button right here is going to go from next minting window to approve and mint right here.
Yep.
And you can mint 750 at a time. I suggest 500 at a time just because Pulse Chain's gas estimator is sometimes off. But yeah, you can do batches of 500, 750, and then it'll show up right here. It'll show other people that are minting on this page as well.
Yep. And yeah, so there is a window of entry for each journey, to be very clear. And how cool would it be if sometime in the future people are able to maybe pre-enter a journey somehow, or pre-enter multiple journeys somehow by locking tokens up early? That might be some functionality that's functionality that could be built. Someone could even build that's not part of the team.
It would be great to have a feature built that you could pre-lock your
whenever you wanted. Yeah.
And then you got like some bonus or like gift or discount for doing that.
Yep.
Because then we already know, hey, this is already money that's going into the lottery and treasury. It's already coming off circulating supply. But again,
and it makes it set it and forget it for people if they could,
Yeah, and this clock's going to change to 11 days.
Yep.
Once the minting starts, you got 11 days. So I believe it's January 11th to the 22nd, which is kind of serendipitous.
Exactly.
And then right after that,
well, that would make the lottery being paid out essentially. No, it wouldn't. No, yeah, it would. It would be on like 2/2, which is also interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this will clock. This will have a clock counting down, and we're going to be telling everyone, hey, this is the time to mint. This is the time to win. When this window closes, it's never going to open again for Journey 2.
Ever.
You got to wait for Journey 3.
Yeah, it's like with sports cards. Like once you have Now, granted, you can get these on the secondary market, but it's like once they've made the 1992 Jordan card, they're not making another 1992 Jordan card. You know what I mean? Like they'll make a 93, then they'll make a 94. So you want to make sure that you're able to hold on to those cards, especially because they're getting better yield than any subsequent card, like they all are.
Yeah. We got about 82 people in here, 81 people. Most of them are on X, and I keep sending messages to StreamYard telling them to get their shit together with X, because I can't comment on X, and only a few X comments come through, and I'm not sure how it's going. But it also doesn't work with the giveaway. The giveaway here only works with YouTube.
Right.
And so once they get their stuff together, we can do some better giveaways. But we do have 12 people hanging out here and watching it. There's one in here I missed. Smo. Thank you to Anti-Gravity NFT Project. No, thank you to Smo Spider. Very, very cool, Smo Spider. She's one of the only people that have participated in the bug bounty program. She brought together some information problems with our website, and we still need to get her paid out and take care of her. But shout out to Smo Spider. Very cool to see you there. Cape says you can mint again after the countdown. It'll tell you on the minting page. Loading bay. Question face. What's loading bay?
Say that again about loading bay.
He just says loading bay, and then a one, like a questioning face. Maybe that's what he's calling the pre-mint. It's like a loading bay.
I like that. That's sick. I like that a lot, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Let's do this. Let's give away some collective points.
Ooh, I like it.
Collective points. Let's give away 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000 collective points. We'll help some people get out of being informants, right?
Yeah.
Because you need 3333 to get out of being an informant. All right. Yes, preloading phase is a loading bay. I like that. New tagline, AG Project, it's not ulti.
Oh, damn.
He's a weeds.
Damn.
Coming in with the hot sauce, Red Squirrel. Oh, yes, preloading phase. Love that. Love that. Okay, so let's go here to this giveaway tool, which is something I've just figured out. We got to choose this stream right here.
Yeah.
I got to refresh it now because I opened this before I started the stream. There it is. Boom. Nothing's happening. Everything is happening. Max text. What should be the first word people type in?
To be eligible?
Yeah, for the first drawing.
Nova.
Nova. All right, yeah, Nova. Cole Nova.
Nova.
Okay, so type in Nova in the comments here, and we will give away 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000 collective points.
Yeah, that's legit.
Which reminds me, I've still got to send Squirrel his 1 million points.
Yes.
For winning the. I'm gonna write that down while I'm thinking about it.
Well, 1, 2.
Yeah, Red Squirrel. 1 million points. Beautiful. Okay, so we have 4, 5, 6. Looks like 6 people in here. Let's check this out. Start collecting them. 8 entries right here. We'll give them a second. If some of you guys want to jump from Twitter over to YouTube, then you'll get a chance to enter. Again, I apologize for the Twitter people. I like Twitter so much more than YouTube, but YouTube just makes a nice package where you can send a link in a video. People can fast forward, rewind, 2x, and X is still getting there, I think.
Mm-hmm. It'll get them.
Cool.
How many people have typed it in yet? We have some some candidates for
We got 8 people
collective
in
points.
there. 8 people waiting to win.
Hey, I like it.
And then I
Type it in.
think
All you
I
have to
can
do is
like,
type in Nova and you're eligible.
yeah, I think there's a square somewhere that says for multiple drawings, like if you win, it'll take the other people out. But I don't know if I
Yeah.
clicked that button. Actually, it's 1,001,000. You're right, because he won another giveaway.
That's true.
So
Glad you keep tabs, Red Squirrel.
1,000 and 10 dark matter.
That's cash right
But
there.
10 more dark matter he can pair with his nuts and increase the LP in dark nuts.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a couple more people jumping over here. It looks like we're good. Let's roll this one right here. And 3, 2, 1.
Boom.
1,000 points.
Who gets it? Who gets it?
Retro Static.
Damn.
Retro Static, congratulations, man.
Congrats, brother.
It's because he was like commenting about the loading bay. It gave him that extra bump.
It must have. It must have.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I didn't mean to hit draw again, but I guess I'll draw again. So this is the number 2 one. 2,000 points go to
The noob.
The noob.
The noob.
The noob.
Hell yeah, dude.
I've never seen the noob here. Congratulations and welcome. He's got some sloths in the background, which makes me think that maybe he's part of a Crypto Sloths group.
This is true.
All right, the noob. Now we're going to do one more drawing for 3,000. So the noob won 2,000.
Granddaddy.
One. Here's 3,000.
Hold on, just real quick. Can you win if you've already been into it?
I don't think so.
Okay, but what if it does? What if it does? Then are you re-rolling, or does the person win twice?
I say
I'm just
they
asking
win
ahead
twice.
of time, so there's no hurt feelings, you know.
Yeah. I say they win twice because there's only
let's do it.
a handful of people on
Amen. Let's do
YouTube,
it.
so your chances are really good if you're on YouTube. All right, next one. Here we go. 3,000 points. And it's
Patrick
Astro and stuff.
Dude, hell yeah, man. That's a good swath of winners right there.
Patrick's. Now I don't have
make sure you collect on your real life asset rewards in terms of on your points. You know, like if you win a poster of the book, or if you win all the way up to, you know, the luxury vehicle, you know, you got to make sure that you reach out in the Telegram and DM Max and, you know, give your address or wherever you want the stuff sent.
So I did have the box clicked that says exclude winners when doing multiple draws. So they did get, you know, you did have one chance to win on that one.
Gotcha.
Jeez Louise. Nova. Congrats.
Hell yeah, dude.
Congrats. I don't have an address for the noob or Retrostatic or Patrick.
Yeah.
So make sure that you guys get me an address that you want me to send those points to for your NFT to start ranking up in the collective.
And yes, and also as far as, I mean, you're going to need a physical address for some of these things. And we're all about privacy and all about, you know, we're all about privacy. And so, you know, an option for some of those that, because again, being part of the collective, it's almost like the military. At each different rank, you get all of those rewards. Like you get all of those real life rewards. And so you're going to need a place for them to be sent. And so you can always open up a PO box. They're not expensive. And that way, you know, you don't even need to dox yourself even to the project, you know, which I respect that.
Or if you're like in an apartment building and your neighbor's a dick.
Yeah,
put their address down and steal it off their porch when it comes.
Yeah. No mail fraud encouraged here.
Yeah, you still get your stuff. You know? Mm-hmm. Very cool. In fact, if you look at the list right here, we've got the junior operators, and once you get to lead operator, you get a bunch of stickers and cool stuff.
Yep.
And then at lead technician, you get some more stickers and patches. Excuse me. And then at junior agent, that's when things get kind of interesting up here around junior agent and special agent. that's where you get like the printed and signed Journey NFT, choice of T-shirt. So you can get like a dark matter or anti-gravity T-shirt, and then at Special Agent, you're going to get a copy of the book when we get it printed, Ring of Dust, and a patch and a pin that you can put on your flight suit or on your astronaut suit. Because basically, we see a day when all of you guys show up in bright orange or even white astronaut suits to meetups and conventions, and that's going to be a lot of fun to fill an area with a bunch of astronauts.
Damn straight, dude.
That's going to stand out. But this is what he's talking about. Like, obviously, these are physical things that we may be able to give you some of these things at meetups if you come to meetups. But the easiest way is just any shipping address you feel comfortable sharing with us. We'll just ship them straight out. We've shipped out quite a few things already. Even during the Wishwell phase, people were ranking up in the Wishwell phase and saying, "Send me my stickers, send me my pins." So this is what he's referring to as far as those points, and this is where those points are going. You get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and so all you guys will basically be in the informant rank if you haven't done anything yet. But you'll just need a few more points, a few fuel cells, and you guys could be already out of the informant rank.
Yeah.
Sure. So, yeah. Cheers. In fact, I've got. I'll hit you up in Telegram tonight when I get home from work. Perfect. Yeah, just hit me up and
excellent.
You send me an a Ethereum address,
wallet address, yeah,
a Pulse Chain address, and yeah. And then, like you said, if you guys are hitting these, like the whale that reached out to me this weekend, he is, where's he at on the leaderboard? Let's go to collective. Excuse me. Where's 8090? Right here. He's at 33.8 million points right now. So I need to ship him.
Bro, they're getting up there, bro.
3 mil. I need to ship him the same stuff that I'm getting ready for Randy.
Yep, damn straight you do.
He's got his spacesuit.
Yeah.
We're going to embroider it with whatever text he wants on there. And then he's going to have all these patches and pins and stuff as well. So I got to get a shipping address from him. And then shout out to the people working on the book. Like we had somebody rip through all 25 chapters already, reviewed the whole book, absolutely killed it. Yeah. And let's see here, unfreeze my cute little face here. I won't show his address, obviously, but as soon as he finished it, he already ranked up into elite operator just by all the points. And then he also got some dark on top of that. Mm-hmm. So we paid him some dark for doing so many chapters. And then I gave him a bunch of points. And so like this is going out today right here. This has his address on it. It's full of stickers and a stencil, like a collective stencil, a bunch of stuff that this is going out today. So he'll be getting that in the mail. Here's a picture of the stencil. If you guys haven't seen it, it's kind of cool. My kids like drawing on it with markers, but it's suitable for spray paint too. If you got like some train cars near your house and you feel the need to go tagging, you got the collective tag.
No laws encouraged to be broken.
No, none at all. If you own the train,
you want to be on the red alert list for vandalism.
Red alert list.
Airpole. You'll have police all over the
Red Squirrel says, "Oh shit, I need to get chapter 1 reviewed." Yeah, that'd be helpful. We have another guy, Crispy Man, is starting to rip through the book. And I say once we get like 3 good reviews of all the chapters, we're going to go back with the authors. We're going to rework everything and make sure that all of our pumpamentals and tokenomics are baked in there, and our Easter eggs are baked in there for you guys. And then it's just format and publish.
Yeah.
Format, edit, publish, and we'll probably drop it into AI and get the audiobook out real smooth, real fast.
Yeah, that's some crazy.
Click on Audible. And that's going to be really cool. Yes, Crispy Man, he's legit. He was showing me those web of dark matter liquidity that he found this
Yeah.
visual web of it, and it was looking pretty good.
Was it through Arkham?
I think it was through his Hex Fire stuff.
Oh, sick.
It could have been Arco. I'm not sure. Yeah, it wasn't the one with the pretty lines. This one looked like
Interesting. Okay.
like an actual web.
Oh, nice. I gotta see it.
Yeah, and it didn't have the flux pull on it yet.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
So now
So
pattern pool.
yeah, get us your pulse chain addresses and get us shipping addresses if you want shipping stuff shipped to you. This next year, I think we're gonna have a lot of people earning a lot of stuff on a lot of swag
Yeah.
and ranking up on there. And I just can't wait till we have time to do our meetups and our parties.
With everyone's spacesuits, man.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Dude, if someone doesn't have enough to earn a spacesuit, maybe we hand out like orange paper clothes like they give inmates. They come in naked, you know, like an orange jumpsuit, and you're the informant. You know,
the informants are wearing just paper or jumpsuits.
Orange jumpsuits, yeah.
And then the other people have legit suits.
Yeah, legit.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Oh, I love that.
It's gonna be so fun.
It is. And guys, this 7 days is gonna go by so much faster than you think it will.
So at current prices, what's the how much is the lottery at current prices?
Current price is like $20 when I woke up this morning.
Right.
Let me pull it up.
Sometimes what, 12,000 tokens?
We're at $21 right now. And we're giving away. Let me do this on screen for you guys. Math is hard. Okay, so check this out. We have 13,989 tokens like being given out. Each winner is going to get
$280,000 if you just do 14 at 20.
Yeah. So not bad.
Not bad, dude.
It's not bad. I mean, who knows where
the price project that's giving away the most in the first month of existence.
Yeah.
On chain.
Yeah. And I think we're going to see more front running because we saw. I don't know. I wouldn't consider this front running because it was just following the hard law.
Yeah.
But we may see some front running from $20, like people dumping early if they can.
Yeah.
And then whoever wins the lottery gets to the sell button first wins. Like you guys want to go dump and take some profits? Boom, right there.
They're hoping to buy in cheaper to be able to mint Journey 2 at 1-to-1.
Ooh, so you're talking about like catching a falling knife.
Potentially, which could be scary.
That is some degen squared stuff right there, man. Can you think about can you imagine people are like, okay, I'm gonna sell it $20, hope it drops to 10 and try to buy it back at 10 and get twice as many to mint?
Yep, that's what I'm saying. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. But like I say, you said it's about 20. Yeah, it's about what did I say 13.8.
Yeah, 13.9. 13.9.
13.9.
You did 18.9.
Oh, 18.9. Let me go back.
13.13900. I mean, unless you want to get the exact number.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
By $20. Yeah, about 278,000. This is so interesting. Is that even though the price went from like during the first lottery, it was around $50, $60.
Yep.
And that was 140 grand that we gave away.
Yep.
And then it dropped all the way down here to $30.
Right.
Last lottery. And even though it dropped in half, people still made more money because it was 3x bigger price.
Correct.
And so even if people dump again, like this was, well, I forget what this was on at there. We had, I can tell you right here.
It was like 140,000, wasn't it?
It was 69.94.
Right, but I'm saying from what price was, it was roughly like
$30.
Yeah, well, it was, you could say 30. It was a little lower. Like I'd say 25 is what I'd say.
Yeah, because the lottery was on the 30th when I streamed with you in the car. No,
Yep.
actually the price was 29.
Mhm.
So just under $30. We'll just
Yeah,
call it 30
that's
bucks
right.
to make it easy. But $30 is
That's right, because it was right before the FUD, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. No. The
No, it
first
was
one
right after.
before FUD.
Yeah.
So this is just the price of the whole thing. And so
Yeah.
30, so we gave $200,000 away here.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna give away 280,000.
Yeah, dude.
Depending on the
not
price.
seen anywhere else on the chain, dude.
Yeah, so even though the price is crashing, the payouts are still getting bigger.
It's crazy in US dollar amount.
Yeah. And who knows what the price is going to be on the lottery on 2/2?
Right.
Who knows what it's going to be on 2/13?
Mm-hmm.
And who knows what it's going to be on 2/24?
Yeah.
Like the price could be another crazy pattern here. Who knows? But we will
Higher.
have a
Same
pattern. There will be a 45-day pattern on this chart.
Yeah, there will be eventually.
And we'll move these little things around and add them as we go. But yeah, so 209 plus 140 plus 280.
Yeah.
So $629,000 is not. It's not bad.
In 45 days. But and that's not even including yield, bro, of 3% of the treasury.
Yeah,
that's just lottery.
Just lottery winnings over $500,000 in the first, month.
Not so bad.
40 days, or it's going to be about 50 days because we had the claims and the airdrops.
Yep.
In this first one, so it's just a little bit longer than 45 days. But basically, very, very young project paying out this kind of money. And I mean, surviving, I've never seen a project pay out that much in its first, 5-6 weeks.
I know, dude. It's nuts.
That's insane. It's insane.
Some people were sharing their wins with me and they were so thrilled. They were like, oh my gosh. Like they won some on the first lottery, you know what I mean? But they weren't really understanding like, oh, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger each time. So this one they were like, hell yeah. I'm like, dude, the fewer you win on the first lottery, the better, because you want to win ideally on the third lottery. You want all your winners to be on the third ideally.
Yeah. But your chances of winning are roughly the same.
Exactly.
So if you won one lottery on the first drawing and you got 1.25 tokens,
you can imagine you'll win another.
And then you continue to win one lottery on the second one and the third one, then you got 3.75 and 7.5. So every winner is going to get 7.5 dark matter.
Mm-hmm.
Every fuel cell that wins.
Yep.
And the math is like, once people are done minting, we know the exact amount of yield. We know the exact amount of lottery winnings, aside from people vaporizing. Don't vaporize, guys. Someone asked last night in chat, do I have to vaporize to enter the lottery? And I just put a giant no on the screen.
Yeah.
No.
That is your lottery entry, is what you can vaporize. So you don't want to do the exact thing. The only thing that takes you out of the lottery. That's the only thing that can take you out of the lottery is vaporizing.
Red Squirrel's got a good question here. Oh, Conspiracy Crypto's in the house. What's up, fam?
What up, brother?
What is up? Let's look at the chart versus Pulse. So I just go here and then I switch this one right here. This is the price in Pulse. So if you took your Pulse and you got into dark.
You're not sharing screen still.
Oh, that's it. Sorry. I'm so used to sharing screen that I just bounce around. I'll share this for you guys. Boom. So you guys see this screen right here? Is it showing now? Okay, yeah. So this is dark versus Pulse. So dark started at 14,000 Pulse, and then with Casey's candle, we hit 1.5 million Pulse, and now we're back down to 400,000 Pulse, give or take.
Not so shabby.
So, yeah, if you like Pulse, dark might be a good way to get more pulse.
Just
Just
saying.
saying. Like, this is a pretty good chart against pulse.
I'd say so.
Dang. Crazy. Good catch. Good point. I like that. Red Squirrel's he's a thinker.
Very
Any
much so.
chance us OG minnows can score in the lottery?
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah, just by minting.
Your fuel cell is just as powerful as a whale's fuel cell. Like they're all about roughly a 1 in 20 chance of winning.
Yeah, every time that you mint a fuel cell NFT, you get the same price as every other or the same chance as every other fuel cell of winning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, because you have a 1 in 20 chance of winning, a lot of people like me that are recovering gamblers, we think, well, I'm going to buy 20 so I can win at least one. And then we think, well, shit, no, I'm gonna mint 100
so I can win
5.
Exactly.
Like, we just start running the numbers, and I'm sure you guys are the same. If you're in crypto, you do a lot of moon math in your head as you're driving and walking around. Everyone has the same chance. I'm a minnow, but I've won 9 so far, or 1 so far. He won 1 so far. So Cape has won 1. And why would you vaporize? That is a really good question. The only reason, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see this.
Get your yield.
Your screen. Mm-hmm. So vaporizing, it doesn't actually make sense to vaporize in the first 2 years of the project, because you're just getting a drip at first. It takes a while for that momentum to start pouring out and building up. So if we go here to vaporize, this is where you vaporize on this vaporize screen on the beta AG Project.io vaporize. And you connect your wallet. And the cool thing about this screen is you can see what your yield is. I'll show you guys real quick. I'll sign in here. Okay, so I got this one right here signed up. This one has 4 fuel cells right here. In fact, I wonder if it's won the lottery. These 4 fuel cells haven't won the lottery. But if you go here to vaporize, and then you type in how many fuel cells you want to look at, in this case we have 4. There's a line that shows up right here. It says view selected fuel cells. So if I click view selected fuel cells, it shows me that there's no yield in them yet. Like, this won't happen until 7 days right here. But it tells me the journey that I minted them in, and it tells me their ID right here as well. So this is where you can actually come and say, hey, like, what would I get if I actually vaporize the fuel cell? And if you vaporize a fuel cell, the yield goes into your wallet. However, you forfeit any benefits in the future. Your fuel cell's gone forever. So the only reason you would want to vaporize is if this was worth a lot of money and you didn't want to go through the process of selling your NFT on a marketplace like Mintra or Pulse Market.
Right.
But in the future, we're working on making that as easy as possible to sell your fuel cells without vaporizing them. But the only reason you would vaporize is, let's say in the future, you got 3 dark worth of yield. And let's say that dark went up to 100, back up to $100.
Yeah.
Right? $300. So you got in that fuel cell for 10 or 20 bucks. Now it's worth 300. You vaporize it and walk off and sell those 3 dark if you want.
Yeah.
That would be a decent profit that you could take in the future. But then again, there's usually someone who is willing to wait and let it continue to fill with the treasury.
Oh yeah.
So if someone's willing to wait, it's like selling your HSI stakes on Hex. It's like someone else just wants to let that thing continue to fill with interest. Great, let it. So we'll talk more about that in Probably Journey 4. I'm thinking a lot more about that in Journey 4. Maybe sooner, but we got a couple of tricks we have to throw in your face first before we get to that trick. To receive the yield, like inside the NFTs, however, then it's all over for what is vaporized from the treasury or lottery. Like, she answered it in 8 the time it took me to answer it. Good job, so inspired. Everyone should vaporize immediately. It's Red Squirrel is telling everyone just to vaporize. Just vaporize. Yeah, that's not playing nice, Red.
Not at all. Not at all, Red.
He was in the chat when I was telling no, and then he like replied yes.
Hopefully you didn't
He's
recognize.
trolling, man. He's trolling. He knows the game. He doesn't want any more competition
Damn
than
straight.
he's already got. Beautiful. All right, cool. I that's everything that I was going to go over. We talked about Richard Hart. We talked about Ulti. We talked about Dynex. We talked about the lotteries and the journeys going forward and where the price might dump in 7 days on our biggest lottery drawing ever to this point, our 3rd out of 99 drawings. And we talked about the book too, jump in our Telegram and review the book for extra points and extra dark and enter the art contest. Because I mean, I say we start the art contest for Journey 3 right now.
Agreed. Absolutely.
So anyone that but instead of doing it in Telegram, we did it in Telegram, and it was kind of like an echo chamber because the same 6 people were watching it. We need this stuff on Twitter. Mm-hmm. So if you want your image or your art to go into the drawing or the running for the top 10 of Journey 3, then tweet that image out, tag Anti-Gravity Project, tag me, and say, art contest for Journey 3. Help me win 1 million collective points and 10 dark matter tokens.
Yep.
And just shoot that out on tweet. And the people with the most tweets and retweets and likes are going to be in the top 10. And then we'll do another vote in between those lotteries, in between lottery 1 and 2 on the next journey.
Yep.
Because we got ours from Red Squirrel, which is just beautiful. We have to touch it up and probably downgrade it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, here's the first one right here. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen, but the first one's right here behind me. This is the first one everyone minted 116,000 of these, and I believe. Let me pull up my Telegram here real quick. Make sure I'm in the right channel. Boom. Boom. There we go. So this is what I believe we're going to see 120 or 130,000, maybe more, depending on how many of the whales come swinging in for the lottery. But this one right here, right? Nope. Right here.
There we go.
Here. Yeah. So we're going to add our logos on the bottom here like we have on the last one. And then we'll probably have to bring this down to 10 megabytes for the metadata.
Yep.
So it loads easily and quickly on the different places. But this is insane. Like, this is
so sick.
I like this. I love the first NFT. Absolutely love it. This NFT raises the bar so high.
Oh yeah.
So quickly. Like, I can't even imagine what the next.
What's like 9 and 1
look like? Huh?
It's like 9 and 1.
Yeah, this one is like it looks like a movie poster.
Exactly. It's so sick, dude.
Which, I mean, how cool would it be in the future if dark matter was made into a movie or a show or a cartoon? Like, that would be so sick to have our own actual like film
metaverse
or animation. in the future, which we have the people in our community to do it.
Right.
There's so many smart, amazing, like people with AI and studio skills and artistic skills
Yeah.
that I don't think it would be a stretch to put something together that's
Dude,
visually
imagine that,
appealing
like a
and get people
community
into
made movie. That'd
Yeah.
be a community made film.
Did you find the hidden squirrel, Max? Let me look at it again. Hidden squirrel. Oh, he's got a hidden squirrel on
I'm
here.
gonna pull it up. I can get in on
Hmm.
this. Oh, you got to share the screen
Okay, now let me share the screen again.
and see if anyone in the comments
See
help
if
us out.
anyone who finds the hidden
Unless you
squirrel,
already know, yeah, give them points. But unless, well, yes, I guess they could know already.
yeah,
Honor system. We want this to be a live like Where's Waldo hunt.
mm-hmm. All right, see if you guys can find the squirrel here with me. I don't see it, but let me pull it up and zoom in a little bit here.
Okay, let's see.
All right, am I still streaming?
Yep.
Okay, I accidentally hit some other thing and it pulled up a camera, but
I'm
here's
zooming
the
in on
image right
mine.
here, and there's a hidden squirrel somewhere in here.
And all 9 images, right? Like we're looking at all 9. We're not just looking at the center image, right?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in here. I don't see anyone around her. Is it squirrel meat? Is it squirrel meat at this like street market? Or is there like a skinned squirrel over here? I don't see a squirrel with a heavy hitter.
I don't see one with Bit Boy. Do I to the right of his left hand? No. Like I'm looking down below that. Look to the right. Yeah, right there. Like those aren't whiskers, right? That's not a little. I guess squirrels don't have that shit.
No, it's like a rock. The funniest thing is if there was no squirrel
Yeah.
and he was just fucking with us.
He's like made you look.
We gotta go over to your mom's house.
All right.
Are you done with this?
No, I'm still drinking that.
Will you finish it so I can start the dishwasher?
Sure. Yeah, I'm not. If you guys see the squirrel, go to our Telegram. Actually, we should just tweet this out, and whoever sees the squirrel
gets points.
Where is the squirrel?
gets points. I don't
Yeah,
know.
now Jamie's helping.
All right. I don't see the squirrel there, guys. Anyone in comments see it? Hey, here's Ted Nelson. Ted Nelson,
Ted?
you have a package going in the mail to you today, Ted Nelson.
Indeed.
He's one of the badasses working on the book. He's got a picture of a kid on a horse peeing on Biden. It's in the copy I sent you without the logo.
Oh, so it's not in this copy.
Okay, let's see if we can find that one real quick.
Well, if we know that's where the logo is now, then.
So this one has the logo. That one has the logo. He has one without the logo. Right here. Now that one's got the logo too. Huh. Oh, resend that photo to me, or post it on Twitter, because that's what I'm going to do. And if people can find the squirrel in the photo, we're going to give them. How many points should we give them, Don?
250,000, or is that way too many? Or no, sorry, 2,500, or is that way too many?
I think 2,500 is pretty good.
That takes someone almost out of informant.
You know what? Let's give them 4,000.
Okay, that takes
them.
Right out of
If you
informant.
find the squirrel, you are already out of being an informant.
Yeah,
here's this one right here.
That's a quick redemption.
Okay, so this is the one with the hidden squirrel.
Okay, we want since we're making it a challenge, we can't look now.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we find it, then we ruin it.
Yeah. I'm going to save this as squirrel.
I wonder if you could throw it in Chat GPT and say, let me know where the squirrel is.
That's what someone's going to do to win the points.
I know, watch.
Like right away. Like for sure someone's going to do that. Let me go to X here, and then I'm going to go back. And here's HP Morgan, one of the coolest Hexicans I've ever met in person, him and his wife. I believe her name's Kirsten. I hope I'm not messing that up, but a lovely couple from Florida. Let's go back here to post. And, oh, wait, no, it's just going to post with his name because I got him pulled up. Just kidding. Let's go back home. Oh, check this out from Crypto Bella. How rich I feel when a token crawls its way back to the price I originally paid. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's post. We're going to post, and we're going to say, find the squirrel. To win 4,000 collective points. Okay, and then I will add it right here. Back up. G, where is it? It's right here. Squirrel, open. All right, yeah, find the squirrel to win 4,000 collective points. And then I should probably tag.
Yeah, tag Red Squirrel.
And tag AG.
Yeah, tag the evil address. Were you going to tag Red Squirrel or just evil?
Yeah, I'll tag Red.
We need to hear from evil address. Whoever's evil address out there, join the streams. They're posted in the Telegram.
Mm-hmm. So find the squirrel in this image. And you know what? I actually found the squirrel just now, and I'm not going to say anything. I'm not.
Yeah,
in the,
don't say
I'm
anything.
running. I saw a squirrel. Check it out and answer that. Whoever answers first in there gets 4,000 collective points. Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. Behind the girl in the red jumpsuit. You bet, Ted. You bet you. Hey, guys. Very good to see you. Okay, cool. So we've got this going on. If you guys can find that red squirrel, let us know. And if you guys want to enter into the art contest for the next one, including Red Squirrel, which, you know, he's a force.
I think I found it. I think I found it.
I think I did too, but I don't want to say anything. I want to ruin it.
No,
but check this out. Get in there and get tell us where it is, and the first person to tell us gets 4,000 collective points.
Yeah, dude. Awesome.
I'm trying to unfreeze my little face so I can say goodbye to the fam. Goodbye, Space Cult. We love you. The next 7 days are going to go by very fast. We need a Southern Utah meetup. We do need a Southern Utah meetup. In fact, I know a bunch of the Hexicans are coming down to my neck of the woods to go side-by-side riding right before the March Pulse Chain Tour in Vegas, which isn't far from me either. And so maybe we'll put together some meetup there with those guys. And
that'd be sick.
That's like Vets and the King Pooey guys are coming down, and I think the Brewers coming down. So we'll put that together. That'd be fun. My battery's about to die. Great stream. Have a safe, happy weekend. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. All right. I love you. I love you, Don. I love you, people. I'll be streaming every day that I can. I got a cough. I got a cold. I might be here hooked up to an IV, but I'm going to
make it happen. You might have a sleep.
I'm going to make it happen. And I just want to say it's not often that you hear a founder get really excited about his coin tanking.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really excited to see how low the price will go on January 10th.
Bullish. That's bullish.
Very. Yeah. And like I said, you guys that won the points, DM me. I think I got a couple DMs already from Noob and some people. So DM me your addresses. I'll get you those points and rock on, dude.
Excellent.
All right, cool guys. We'll check you later.
Ciao.